When are you guys going to get married? Look, she's good, but, you know, that's a big commitment. If you're going to do it, you got to do it special, but you've also got to be sure, you know. And I was sure before this recording.
So we're engaged! Oh, yeah! I thought it would be nice to do a follow-up to our couples Q&A with a Fiancé Q&A.
Yes, very fun. And also tell you the entire story of every detail about how the engagement happened. But that'll be at the end.
So stick around.
Yes. We've got never before seen behind the scenes footage where I just cry a lot. I cried so much, like that's not even a joke. It's insanely embarrassing. You guys have been a part of our relationship from the very beginning. The first time you saw Ilsa was actually a Q&A. That was on my channel. While there's always some things that we like to keep private, you know, you guys have always been there. You've always been very supportive, very lovely. We want to share some of the happiness and joy with you as well.
Did you know who was going to propose on the day? Yes, I did. I think I knew he was going to propose on that day for about 2 months.
We met November 24th, 2018 at a Christmas party at the Click House. I always knew I wanted to propose on that date, like on the anniversary of meeting. And I'm also too much of an anxious wreck for it to be a complete surprise. So I did let Ilsa know it was going to happen on that date, November 24th.
Which worked out well because I got to, you know, get my nails done, pick my outfit.
Yes.
But there were still surprise elements. Did you design the ring together or did Lannan choose it? We designed it together.
I want to say I would have always picked, like, because Ilsa always said she wanted the yellow diamond.
Yep.
And I always call Ilsa my sunshine. And honestly, the whole ring is probably what I would have done anyway. But I think being able to be sure and plan it together was honestly, like, actually a lot of fun.
How does it feel to be marrying Muselk's sister?
Victory Royale W.
Do you want kids? Yes.
An army of them. Like,
A couple?
so many. Just
A couple?
tons of kids. And we can make YouTube videos together. Maybe I'll finally upload then.
But not for a few years, I don't think.
A couple years and then have,
years.
you know, 2 to 4.
2 to 4, yeah. We both came from families of 4, so in my mind, I'm like, I loved having siblings, so 4, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle 4. We'll see. When's the wedding?
Either November next year or March 2026, I think, is our current plan.
Probably March, just to give us more time to
I would
plan.
do it next week, but I don't get to do
Go down
that.
to the courthouse.
I want to go to the courthouse, just get it done. Call you my wife.
Does this mean you're going to put your Minecraft beds next to each other? We've actually already been doing that. I'm going to be honest.
Have we?
Yes. I always have a bed next to you.
I like this one. Read that.
Use code Lazar.
That's LAZAR. You know, that's how we're paying for the wedding.
Why did it take so long for you to propose?
You know, sometimes, you know, you just gotta wait for the right time. I had to make sure she wasn't gonna get annoying, so I had to give a couple years just to make sure.
See how long I can keep up the act.
Yeah, just see if she can contain herself.
Joke's on you.
It's gonna become super annoying now. You don't have to rush the stages of life, you know? There's no need to. Enjoy being, you know, dating, and then enjoy being engaged, and enjoy being married, enjoy being parents, and enjoy being dead one day.
Yes. Are you going to be Mrs. Beam?
That is my last name, so yes, she will be.
I quite like Lady Beam because I think that's...
Don't you have to be like knighted by the Queen or something for that one to be a lady?
Or is that buy a plot of land in Scotland or something? Are you sure you both 100% love each other?
I think I'd say 95%. I think I'm maybe. Depends. When she rips those big old farts first thing in the morning.
And sometimes he tries to embarrass me like this and then I lose a little bit, so...
So yeah, I mean, some days definitely 100%, other days, you know, low 90s. Never below low 90s though.
Is Cray invited to the wedding and is he going to kiss Lannan again? He said he would. I personally would hope Cray would respect the wedding day.
I don't know, man, we got chemistry.
But I would just hope on our wedding day, Craig can just
contain yourself, Cray. Just contain yourself. You can kiss me any day, mate. You just don't have to do it on the wedding.
Not on the wedding day, come on. What's a happy couple moment you've had that you wish you could watch in third person?
Ooh.
I think the night we met.
That would be fun.
I would love to watch that again. And so we can clear up the stalking allegations, because that is bullshit.
She followed me around like a lost puppy dog.
Happen.
She was obsessed with me the moment she saw me.
It didn't happen, and I would love to prove that to the world. What are you most excited to plan for the wedding? I'm really excited to plan like the food menu and the cocktail menu and go to tastings I feel like I see people do that in the movies, like cake tastings and stuff like that.
I'm most excited for Ilsa to have fun planning it.
That's bad.
I want to have the kind of wedding where everyone looks back in 20 years and goes, damn, that wedding was fucking sick. Like, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. And I don't have to stress about actually executing it anymore. I just get to like have crazy ideas and tell a wedding planner to do it. So
if you're a good wedding planner, please reach out.
You know there's going to be like a 15-year-old who's like, I love weddings. I've planned so many Roblox ones. How did you plan the engagement and did it all work out how it was supposed to? You're just going to have to wait for the full story at the end, aren't you? We didn't want to have like a 25-minute story at the start of the Q&A,
No,
so we're going to save those ones for the end. What was the most challenging part of proposing? I just think making sure Ilsa had the best day ever. It's like, I know it's a broad thing, but like it was never like a finite, oh, I've done enough, the proposal's planned. It was like kind of like a never-ending, okay, well, I can always do more. The thing is, when you love someone and they love you, you don't even have to do anything. Like, you could do just, like, Ilsa would have been happy if I just rolled out of bed and just said some nice words and proposed to her there. Knowing that she'd appreciate, like, literally the simplest, smallest things made me want to go even crazier because I knew it would blow her mind.
And you did.
The fact that, like, nothing was ever enough in my brain for me, it wasn't about her. It was like, in my brain for me, I'm like, I got to do more. I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to do more. Literally until the day.
Yeah.
Like, we were still changing things, adding things, doing things. So many people say, did he cry when he proposed? Yeah, I've said it a few times, but yes. I'll show like one shot of me crying just to make you happy.
Still, we'll give him
like one shot, one photo of me crying.
I actually really love that you cried. I think it, because I was crying throughout the whole day. So
yeah.
Can I come to the wedding?
Yeah, no, we got a spot just for you.
Yeah. And
front row.
Yep.
Bridal party. Mm-hmm. One lucky subscriber who subscribes to this video right now will come to... No, that won't happen.
But do it anyway.
Yeah, like we'll probably do a similar video to this, like where we maybe talk about stuff from the wedding and show snippets and photos and little bits of videos and stuff. But I don't know, there's obviously certain stuff that's got to be private and special and, off camera.
Yeah.
I know there's some creators who are like streaming and having their fans there. I think that's awesome. I just don't think it's for us.
Do you think Lannan should have proposed sooner?
Damn.
I don't think so. I think like the proposal you gave me was definitely like worth the wait. But I'm like only 26, which I feel like for city living in Australia at least is like still pretty young.
Once you live in the city, it's like different.
Yeah.
Like life is moving slower.
I'm the only one of my friends that's engaged. Like, I think it's just, it feels like the right time.
Did he make jokes while proposing? I actually did make a joke. I pretended like I didn't have the ring.
Yeah.
But you'll see why later. The story's awesome. It's just long, so you have to wait.
And the joke actually made me cry.
Yes, I made her cry with my joke. How does Elliot feel about it? Ooh, as happy as you can be when someone gets engaged with your sister. No, he's always been chill. We've always been really good about it. I think I'm a decent person, so he always liked that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fun to make jokes with each other, especially like on the internet and stuff. But like, yeah, no, he chill.
Yeah, he chill.
He chill. Are you gonna name your kid Code Lazar? Hell yeah. Yes. Maybe one of them Code and one of them Lazar.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Or we could do first name, middle name.
Yes.
Cody.
Uses their first name. Code is their middle name. Lazar is their last name. They don't even have our last name. They're a walking ad from birth, bred to be an ad. Put it on my body. Put it on my child.
They're like, what's that? You're like, oh, my son's name.
Yeah. Do you guys plan to do as much YouTube after starting a family? I've thought about this a lot. Like, I know my upload schedule seems like I'm semi-retired, but like I do try and work every day, just nothing seems to get made. But I do think I'm lucky enough financially that when I have kids, I want them to be my priority. Not in the sense that I live through my kids, but in the sense that like if they ever need me, I'm there. I do not miss any like soccer games, go to all their school stuff. Like I can drop them off to school a couple days a week. I want to be very present. So I will still work and have passions and do YouTube probably. It'll always be a second to my kids once we decide to have them.
Oh, I think you'd make a very good dad.
I'm saying I'm going to be like carrying the soccer bag and shit like that. Walking them to school and stuff.
Yeah, bring them the cut up oranges and stuff.
Hell yeah, man. I'm going to make their lunches and shit.
What does the ring look like? Here it is.
We might just put a photo on screen.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a photo because my knuckles look kind of crusty.
Yes, it's a yellow diamond.
Yes, it's yellow.
Ilsa is my sunshine, so she has a yellow diamond.
Yeah, it actually does look like a little sun ray. And I don't know, I've always liked yellow. I just feel like I vibe with it more than a white diamond for myself.
Looks good.
I love it.
Kids when? We're getting so many people saying kids.
That's Marcus saying that.
That's Marcus asking us to have kids. When are you having kids, Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus.
Come on, Marcus. What the hell,
Come on, man. When did you realize you wanted to spend the rest of your life with Ilsa?
Well, as I always say, on November 24th, 2018, I was standing in the kitchen of the clique house and Ilsa walked in and I looked to my friend Cray and said, damn, Muselk has a hot sister. And I think as I finished that sentence, I probably could have told you, could have spent the rest of my life with her. Now, Ilsa can answer the same question.
Yes, I'm trying to think of...
She's like 3 to 4 years in, I really decided that.
I would say like early stages of dating, I could tell you were a very authentic type of person who wasn't playing any games. That and how you've handled like times of conflict, not necessarily our conflict.
Well, just as times of stress and grief and all those challenges that life brings to you.
Yeah, through those, he's just been a rock and, you know, just I think knowing that he's reliable in those kind of unavoidable events in life made me feel very sure. I'm like, this is who I want to do.
So I was immediately, she was like, oh, well, 3 to 4 years in is basically the crux of it. True. Yeah, I think is...
Not quite. I think mine's a better answer. At least I got to know you. You were like...
my point was just that... Okay, I'm trying to say something quite sweet here and you're like, well, actually, you just thought I was hot. Will the wedding be Fortnite themed? Yes. Yes, 100%. Our first dance is going to be a floss. Got the Fortnite
These are my
Crocs.
wedding shoes.
Someone dressed as a skull trooper is going to be our officiant at the celebrant at the wedding.
Oh my god, we skydive in?
Yes, we jump out of a battle bus.
That would be sick.
100%.
Do you think Fortnite could sponsor it?
I don't think so. We might be able to do a battle bus. That'd be kind of base.
Will there be a wedding in Minecraft?
Ooh. Okay, maybe it's like one side Fortnite wedding and one side Minecraft wedding.
Oh, like split the aisle and like,
yes, and like we have a mix of the two themes throughout.
That would look so good.
And like Jack Black shows up because he follows me on Instagram. So he might show up.
Yes, and we can like...
Because he's Steve now.
Spray paint some pink sheet. How did he propose?
Ooh,
well,
how did I propose? Well, now it's time for the story. Boys and girls, take a seat. I'll let you young men know how to simp.
Of days in my life, I've never felt more loved than I have on this day. He went like above and beyond, so thoughtful.
I'm pretty good.
So amazing. He's the best. I'm a lucky, lucky girl. Love you.
Love you.
So the story begins 5 o'clock at our home in Sydney. Lannan had a bunch of surprises for me organised, but I had one for him. I have found the exact yellow jumpsuit that I wore the night we met, the one that he's spoken about.
He was wearing this goddamn beautiful yellow dress.
I always call it a dress, but I guess I don't know what a jumpsuit is.
So I don't know if I can share any photos of myself in that jumpsuit because it's a bit more revealing than I remember.
No, just put a black bar over
I'll put a black bar over it. So yes, you got to relive the moment of watching me come down the stairs for the first time.
Damn. But yeah, no, when Ilsa walked down the stairs, I was like, oh my God. Because I'd worked so hard to make the day perfect for her. You know, I wasn't really worried about me. I wasn't really concerned what was in it for me. I wasn't really concerned with like, oh, did Ilsa have something for me? Like I didn't expect anything. So for her to have put some thought into it and, you know, had a little surprise for me was very nice.
Mm-hmm. Then I went back upstairs and got changed because as sweet as it is, I didn't want to get engaged in that outfit. It's just, you know.
It was a bit revealing.
Then I come downstairs and Lannan's surprises for me begin.
Yes, that's when the real day begins.
So he sits me down on the couch, tells me to close my eyes, put my hands out.
Have a surprise.
So I do. He puts a vase of hydrangeas, beautiful, beautiful hydrangeas in my hands. And immediately I think of my grandma, gangster grandma. Some of you might have known her, and her garden of hydrangeas, which she was just famous for.
Her pride and joy.
Pride and joy, the most beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so sweet. He's got me hydrangeas and you've got me crying in the first minute. I thought they were just, you know, symbolic of...
You thought they were just like ordinary hydrangeas.
Because my grandma's garden's in Tasmania and we're in Sydney. So obviously...
For those of you that don't know, it's about a 2-hour flight. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he tells me they're from her garden and flown up this morning.
Yes. I was in communication with one of her aunties and she had them freshly picked that morning. I sent one of the guys that works for me. He was more than happy to fly down to Tasmania and fly the flowers up that morning so that I could get her flowers from her grandmother's garden so that her grandmother could be part of the day with us. There were some good flowers.
They were beautiful. That's why I didn't believe they were from her garden because they were in such great condition.
They were saying they weren't going to be ready. Like I had the plan for months, but they were telling me like up until just a few days before, they're not ready. It's not going to happen. Give up on the plan. It's not going to happen. And then like 2 days before, they're like, we found some hydrangeas miraculously.
I know.
Like just ready. They just came out of nowhere. It's like a miracle.
And then that had me bawling even more. I'm like,
yeah, it was like crazy.
Me.
So that was just like, honestly, like before the main day even really started, because then we traveled to our favorite spot in Sydney, the cliffs overlooking the water.
We get over there. There's a picnic rug. There's an esky and an envelope, which has this beautiful card.
You'll see the photos, guys. The artwork, like...
I don't think we can show it. You've doxed us. You did it so well. Honestly. I'll censor out the information.
Yeah, basically, I have the artistic skills of a 2-year-old, but I did my best because I used to always draw Ilsa little cards and stuff and write little funny messages on them. So I brought that back for the engagement. And
then on the other side, a beautiful note that I won't share probably.
No, it was just between us.
It was just beautiful. And says at the bottom, open the esky and enjoy the Negronis that he'd made,
yes,
which is
our favorite
cocktail. Then we're sitting on the cliffs, having our Negronis.
Intaking the views, the ocean, our favorite spot.
Yeah, just having a moment. And then he tells me, he's like, there are 3 phases today. This is phase 1. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't want her sitting there thinking like, oh my God.
He's
like,
about to propose.
Like just waiting for the moment that I get down on one knee.
Yeah.
And I didn't want her sitting there waiting. So I was like, by the way, there's 3 phases today. Proposal will happen at phase 2. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And this is phase 1.
Then we traveled back to our house.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, we have to travel to phase 2 now. Let's head back over to the house and we can go to phase 2. Little did she know, the house was phase 2.
So we're outside the house and I hear music, and not just any music, but Turning Page from the Twilight Saga, which is my favorite movie. And I'm like, do I hear Turning Page?
Yeah, I thought it was like,
now?
Is that fucking Turning Page?
Yeah.
I feel like in my head, I imagine you swearing. I don't know why.
I think I probably did swear.
Maybe that's just how I imagine you reacting in that moment.
So we walk up the stairs, go inside, and I'm like, damn, the speaker system is really good. Like, that sounds amazing. Walk in, there's a string quartet in the living room.
Yeah, I had real life musicians, like an orchestra, bro, like sitting in the living room playing those songs. Chicks love Twilight songs, man. I don't know nothing about it. But no, I said to Tanner, like, I know you and Ilsa love those like Twilight songs. Like and like some of them are in weddings and stuff. So I knew it was like fitting for the moment. So I was like,
perfect.
I was like, I know she'll love this shit.
I was very overwhelmed, I think, walking in, going like string quartet to the left, to the right, candles everywhere and flowers.
While we were over at the cliffs, my sister and Ilsa's cousin, they set all this up. So when we walked in, it was not just the orchestra, it was like...
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was like, yeah, the candles were so well placed.
They popped off.
So we walk over onto the back deck in between the flowers.
But as we walked there and I was ready for the big moment, like for Ilsa, this was like an exciting day and like lots of surprises. But for me, this was like months of build-up of like planning every detail, trying to make sure everything goes perfect. And when I looked at her, like while I was standing there, I just lost my shit, man. I just started like crying. I just like was so overwhelmed by emotion. I couldn't speak. Like as I stood there, like, because I didn't have a speech plan, but I knew I just wanted to speak to her in that moment. As we stood there, like take a breather, enjoy the music. It's like we had a real life soundtrack. I just wanted to take a moment to speak to her, but I just couldn't speak. I was just like, I was so overwhelmed with emotion. A lot of the photos of me just looking like an absolute wreck. But I eventually got my shit together, and I had this whole thing where I was like, oh, I've forgotten something. I've forgotten the ring. Hold on, I've got someone was holding onto it for me. And near the front door is Custard's bed, which is Ilsa's, childhood dog, lifelong pet. He's sadly no longer with us, but I keep his bed where it used to be. And I had the ring sitting in it, covered in a little blanket, and was like, I ran over and was like, oh, Custard was hanging on to it for me. He was looking after it for me.
And then I'm bawling again, and I'm just like...
Because the whole point of the day was to get, like, important parts of our, like, journey. And, like, Custard, we had him for, like, 2 years. Have them be a part of the day and be some sort of symbolic part of the day. So we got Custard involved there. So more crying happens.
More crying.
Meanwhile, still, the orchestra's still playing the songs, by the way. They're just, like, cranking through it.
I think we're on to 1,000 years now.
They're just cranking through it. It's like, I've got a soundtrack to, like, my tears. I felt like out-of-body experience, like I'm in a movie or something. It was crazy.
Yeah. I did kind of black out at points, for sure. Yes, he comes back with the ring. gets down on one knee.
Nailed it, by the way.
Nailed, perfect lunge, perfect form.
I had seen on TikTok a trend of people being like, they were saying, oh, you don't want to be one of these guys leaning over and stuff.
The prawn proposal.
Yeah. I had to nail the knee. Like, I had to nail it.
And it was a perfect 1990 lunge.
Perfect.
It was. And then, yeah, we're both crying. He says, Ilsa Judith Watkins, will you marry me? I'm like, yes. And then he puts the ring on my finger.
I was just like, oh my God.
But the surprises didn't stop there.
No.
So after we've had a little moment, stop crying, he goes into the pantry and he comes out with the 6-litre Belvedere bottle.
Because our first ever photo together was us at that Christmas party in 2018.
Yeah.
Muselk had bought a big bottle of vodka and we took a photo with it.
And we'll do the side by side. We did try to recreate
I wanted to recreate our first ever photo together.
And then we have shots.
Yeah, we did shots with the camera crew.
We did shots. Because I remember, I think that was like my opening line to you. It's like, people were like, shots. And Lannan's like, this is at the click party. No, I don't want a shot. And I'm like, do a shot, pussy. And then he's like...
So, yeah, we did a shot out of the vodka bottle and we said, let's get the camera crew and the photographers and stuff involved, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Vodka shots are terrible, by the way. And in the first photo, I was wasted, and in the second photo, I looked wasted because I was crying. So it actually recreates quite well. So we head to phase 3. So to go to phase 3, I had organized the most ridiculous, essentially Uber ride of our life. I got us a Rolls Royce just to take us 15 minutes. It was honestly the best drive of my life, though. Cannot say enough about it.
It was really nice.
It was insane.
The doors opened backwards. Yes, I am so overwhelmed in the moment. I'm not really thinking. I don't know where we're going. I'm hardly thinking about where we're going because I'm just still soaking up what's already happened. And we pull up to a wharf and I'm like, oh my God. He's gone and hired the boat from the first night he asked me out.
Because like a month after we met, we started dating and we became official during a New Year's party that was on a boat. And I had organized the very boat that sort of happened on all those like 6 years ago.
Exact same boat. We go to get on the boat and the crew is standing there with our 2 Hawaiian shirts that we also wore on the night that he asked me out.
Every New
Year's since we've been wearing those Hawaiian shirts.
It's our anniversary, so we wear them every day on anniversary.
Yes.
So I had those ready. I snuck them from Melbourne to Sydney without her knowing and had them ready.
I get on the boat, we put on our Hawaiian shirts, and I'm thinking we're about to take a nice little cruise around the harbour that we love, have a couple glasses of champagne, and then up come the stairs, my parents, followed by Lannan's parents.
Yeah. Surprise,
followed by Tanner, Elliot, my cousins, my friends, and I'm like, oh my God, like everyone I care about.
All the loved ones.
All the
surprise,
loved ones.
one final big surprise.
Which was, I think, just perfect. It was so nice to like celebrate with all of them as well.
Yes.
As much as it was our day, I feel like we'd had so many moments. It was nice to share like the excitement with everyone else.
Well, also it'd just be ridiculous to have a boat just for 2 people, so we might as well.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that at the time. I was like, this is so nice.
I mean, I would have, but it was just like, I'm lucky enough. I'm in a very fortunate position. I can do that, but like, at least this way more people get to enjoy it too.
We got very drunk.
I don't even remember leaving the boat.
No.
Because all the amount of relief, off my shoulders after a day like that of everything going well, man, I had to let loose.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sort of sailed around the harbour, had our family with us, lots of really wholesome conversations, lots of really nice photos. Mm-hmm. As sort of the sunset on Sydney Harbour, the city that our relationship began. And yeah, it was really nice.
He did so well. I just couldn't imagine a more thoughtful proposal.
There was lots of little details.
I felt like a princess, and it was just amazing.
Yes, I think it was good.
Yes. So yeah,
we fiancés.
We fiancés.
We engaged.
But thank you all. I feel like I'm like, thank you all for coming along on our love story. But thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting us and being there from the start of our relationship till now.
Fiancés. Lovely.
Lovely.
One day wife.